Hello and welcome back to the Willie Morgan Show with Manchester United icon Willie Morgan. It's been a few weeks since we've recorded. Both of us have been away, but we're back now. First of all, Willie, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Yeah, we were away. We actually went to Morocco. I'd never, to be honest, I never wanted to go. I never thought I'd ever go to Morocco, as I did with Turkey. And it was very nice. Uh, the people were nice, absolutely lovely. So it turned out a bonus. It was a nice week. The weather was great. And it was just nice to go and do nothing and just sit around. Um, and back to the nice weather here. The course has been closed, Callum, 4 days out, 4 days this week. It's
Wow.
unheard of. Never. I mean, I've been there now, what, 54 years I've been a member. 54 years. Unheard of, really. So I don't know what's happening with the weather, but other than that, obviously a bit of sad news. Ian Lavender, I don't know if you watched Dad's Army. He was brilliant, Ian. He played the dummy. He was he was very right man and a great friend. So, and another one gone, and I've got two. One's in well, both of them hopefully in recovery. So John Evans, again, John was the chief constable of Devon, Cornwall, and again a great friend, him in Barrow. And he had a bit of a problem at Christmas time there, but is recovering very well, he tells me. He's not going to get any more shots, I can assure you. We still play off the same handicaps. But John, obviously, I wish you full recovery. I know you're on the way back. And I've just heard that, how many times over the years that people say, who's the best player you ever played with? And they're all sat as Bobby Charlton, it's George Betts, it's Dennis Law, it's Paddy Crane. No, it was Brian O'Neill, as I've said so many times. Anyway, Brian's not well at the moment. He's actually in hospital. So I wish Brian, if you're listening, pal, I hope the speedy recovery, get back to normal. Other than that, no, I mean, I presume Jim Ratcliffe, I presume he's playing. He must be playing. The change is fantastic. Jim, keep playing. If it's you and this guys, keep playing. It's great. And the other night, uh, I went to a play,
Wow.
something that I don't do, Callum. Uh, and again, my granddaughter's godmother, Denise Welsh, was starring in it with Matthew Kelly. You remember Matthew?
Yeah.
And it was very, very good. Just a two people play, and it was very, very good. So I was there with all the lovies. Uh, but it was nice. It was just very, very nice. So, and it's 6 weeks. It's running for 6 weeks. And of course, I met her husband, uh, Lincoln, who just flown back from LA. He's got he's been doing a portrait of Daniel Craig
Ooh.
at the National Gallery. Um, so he looked well. And then he's back out to tell me he's back to New York doing somebody else. He spends most of his time in LA now, doing portraits of all the show business, all the actors and things. So he's doing very well, and he looked well. So yeah, it was different, but it was very nice. So other than that, I said I've not played much golf. Um, keep him away from Alex because he just upsets me, hits it too far. And I'm just waiting on the result today. Oh, wouldn't it be nice to get a win? 7 points clear of Newcastle. Wow. Vincent, I told him, don't cut his wrists. Please, honestly, it's just football. I think he's bought a pack of razors, just, he's in a bad way. Vincent, anyway. So other than that, no, it's good. I mean, United, it's been great. It's still, not fantastic, but the results, to get results from nothing, which is a big help. So, I mean, Jim, he's obviously made a difference. I don't know why, I don't know what, but it would appear that his presence is good for everyone.
Yeah, it's good to see him being active around the club. He's been over to watch games. Whereas obviously the Glazer family more often than not don't watch games live. Whereas he's made the effort to be in and around the place, which must make a difference. Behind the scenes, to see the person that wants to drive the club forward actually there in the stadium.
Yeah, when you say the Glazers don't watch the games live, I don't think they watch the games, period, live or not. They wouldn't know what a football match in other words, or in their terms, a soccer game. They wouldn't know what it is. Anyway, no, it's great, and it's just nice to see him getting involved. And like you said, he's there. He's at the club. People can see him, can talk to him, and it makes a massive difference. So long may it continue, Jim.
That's it, indeed. And as you say, it's interesting now that the takeover, the 25%'s finally been confirmed. It's all signed, sealed, and delivered. And a few changes behind the scenes. The new chief executive they've managed to steal from Man City. They're taking the new guy that's going to do the recruitment. He's coming from Newcastle, so Vincent will be doubly disappointed. So he seems to be starting to get his own men in place.
Why would you get the guy from Newcastle? They are minging. So we're going to be recruiting, baby. If you don't want them, no, Callum, why? Why? I rest
You'll
my
have to
case.
go on the you'll have to
I
go on the
rest
phone
my
to
case,
Jim.
Your Honor. Why would you get somebody who's made a mess at Newcastle? The rubbish. The rubbish. So why would you go and bring him here? It's been bad enough as it been for what, 2, 3 years now. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm sure Jim's got a master plan, and it can only get better. Let's put it that way. And it be worth. The other thing, of course, is that Rangers are getting a bit close to us. We're not.
Well, top of the league today.
I know. I know. I know. Well, I told you, Judas. Why they took him back, who knows? Anyway. Okay. Let's talk about something else. Something nice.
Well, they always say in football, they always say, don't they, never go back. And I think that's been maybe shown here as well.
It's difficult to go back. Once you've done it and gone, that's it. Going back is very, very. I just don't understand why they wanted him back after what he did and how he did it. Not what he did, it's how he did it. Why? Why would you bring him back? Um, I don't know. But football, you know what football's like. You get the sack there for being rubbish, and you get a better job next week. Uh, any logic? There is no logic in football. There is just no logic. So, but it was a bad result for City yesterday as well. They could have done with a win.
It's
I
a
see you
strange
guys.
one with that because you've got City, Arsenal, and Liverpool all neck and neck on points.
Yeah, I know. Well, I think City are 4 points behind. They're game in hand,
The
aren't
game
they?
in hand, yeah.
Game in hand. I see Gary's been slagging City. Yeah.
He enjoys that, doesn't he?
Oh, well. Yeah. Well, it's a bit difficult to slag them considering what they've won. But whatever. It's what makes the football go round, as we know.
Well, obviously as well since the last show, obviously Klopp standing down at Liverpool at the end of the season. As a United fan, you must be delighted that he's deciding to move away.
As a United fan, I'm absolutely, yeah, over the moon he's moving away. Not so happy the fact he let Henderson go because it was great when Henderson was still there. Because they're not going to win nothing, are they? They play with 10 men. What a move getting rid of him. They've never looked back. They've just never looked back. really, what I don't understand, and I do rate, I think Klopp brilliant, is how he didn't see it. You know, how he put up with it for so long. Anyway, no, we knew when we got word that he had gone that they're going to be dangerous again, and they are. So we'll see what happens. It's quite a way to go yet. And
How
the
do
most
you
important
think?
thing, what?
How do you think the players will handle that, knowing that the manager's leaving in the summer? Will that distract them in any way? Do you think?
Nah, I don't think so. Uh, I mean, they're on course. They're on course to win the league. I mean, it's in their hands. It's in their hands to lose it now. So, no, I don't think they'll be bothered. You know, the players these days, he's exceptional, like Pep. He's exceptional. But most of you throw a blanket over them. They're just coaches. They're all the same. They'll say the same things. Uh, so there's no difference. But he's got a bit extra. As I've said many times on this show, that he would have been a manager, as would Pep being a manager in the old days. They, without a doubt. The other knows to, nah, none of them would have been in the job back in the 60s. So, yeah, Liverpool will miss him. I don't know. Uh, would you bring in? Oh, Brandon might come down. Oh, hang on, just a minute.
Go
Yeah,
back
there's a job
again.
for you. No, there's a job for you. Why don't you come down? Then we know they're not going to win. Why are you laughing, Callum?
Just you, the typical Morgan mischief.
It's well, it's just all topsy turvy. I mean, Arsenal gone through. They've had the bad spell. I mean, you know, every team does. Every team, and they looks like they've come through it and they're back in course again. But anyone could beat anyone. Anyone can beat anyone. You know, you look at Wolves. We had Spurs and beating them. You wouldn't have bet Wolves to go down there and beat, but they did. There's very little between the top and the bottom. I mean, apart from my old club, sadly, my God. Ah, I think we're in deep trouble, Burnley.
It's been strange. I thought Burnley would have. I'm not saying they would have had a spectacular season, but I certainly thought they would have been, maybe around 15th, 16th, really above that relegation zone. But it's just not happened for them.
Well, you know, and again, he looks like a nice guy. Company, I don't know him. He was a good player, although he was a defender, which means somebody like a talent, but the defender. But he was a good defender. But he's just another coach. Just another coach. Doesn't matter who you bring in, unless you're lucky and find someone with the difference. And you know, how many times we go over it. If you have to coach someone how to play, you shouldn't be there in the first place. A manager wouldn't buy a player, they'd have to tell him how to play. A manager bought the end product and fitted him into his team. You know, it was all um, coaches, yeah, just buy them, buy them, buy them. And I'll fit them in and I'll tell them how to play. And that's the difference. They're all the same. So anyone can beat anyone. It's not, you know. So, but I mean, to come back for me, it's just nice that we've turned a corner, it appear. And yeah, it's not great, but we are actually winning, getting results. Might have helped that Maguire had been out for a while, but Callum, stop smiling.
In terms of United, obviously today going to Luton, it's obviously a proper old school ground. It's tight. The fans are on top of the pitch. What kind of grounds did you play at that you enjoyed where the fans were right on top of you?
I didn't enjoy the fans being right on top of it because you could hear every swear word they were calling. But the worst pitch the worst pitch it was Arsenal because wasn't wide. It was very tight, and it was all suited how they played. But most of the pitches, I'm trying to remember. I think it was Hull City. We played them in the cup once, and they had them. We thought, oh my God, it's going to be a nightmare. And they had a fabulous pitch. It was absolutely fantastic. So the crowd were on top. It never really bothered you at all. So I used to, from my own point of view, I used to have banter with them. And then they were all right. They started off calling you every name known to man. And of course, if you had a little banter with them, which I did, and then they'd be all right, you know. So it's 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 not nice when they're right, but it's also not nice when it's too far apart. You know, when you've got a big track between the pitch and the stands. That's not because it doesn't. It's a bit. I don't know. It's better when it's closer for the players. I mean, Old Trafford's quite close. The pitch is quite close to the this, and uh, obviously it was great playing there. As it was Burnley and Bolton, the pitch was perfect for the players. I think most players like to feel the atmosphere, the crowd, especially at home. Obviously, being away was slightly different, Callum.
As always, we've got plenty of questions from our listeners. The first one is from David saying, what are your memories of playing against Ray Kennedy?
Oh, David, you know something? Uh, he was a good player. He was a good player when he was at Arsenal, and obviously went to Liverpool. And sadly for me, it's one of the things that I regret. I don't know, I think I tackled him just above his midriff and laid him out. I went over the top, and it's the worst thing I ever did because he was a nice guy. He looked at me and said, "Why? What you do that for?" I said, "Oh, I'm sorry." But he was a good player, left half. Um, I don't know what you call him these days, but he was a great player, David, and as it happened, a really nice bloke. And it is my one major regret that I put a bad tackle on him. I didn't get sent off, but I got booked. That was at Liverpool as well. You can imagine what the crowd was like.
Oh, they'd have been
Uh,
happy about that.
he was super lad, and I said very, very good player, very talented.
Next one is from Matt. He asks, do you see Jim Ratcliffe being a success at United over how long he's here?
Oh, Matt, I think I just wish he'd bought the whole club. He's a Man United man. He knows football. He knows football. He's been watching it all his life. Unlike the people who own it, they're just in it for money. So yeah, I think it's fun, and you can see what he's done already. The change just in a few weeks has been great on the pitch, and I'm sure that it'll carry on. He'll get a team around him and get it back to being Manchester United again. I just wish. I don't know whether he's got the money to buy them out or not. And if he wants us to chip in, we could chip in, Callum, couldn't we? If we buy,
Absolutely. We'll be
yeah,
there.
yeah. I think he's great, Matt. I hope he's there for a long, long time. Um, just as the Edwards, the Edwards were great for Man United. I know Martin's still there. Good guy. So I like it. I like it. And I'm sure it's going to take a while. Well, nothing happens overnight. It's going to take a while. But I think, yeah, certainly I think it's great for the club.
Next one is from John. He asks, who was the player that impressed you most when you were on Scotland duty?
Scotland duty. Oh, dear John. Scotland duty. I don't know. It's quite a difficult question. You know, most of the team were good. I enjoyed playing with Sandy Jardine. He played right back. And I enjoyed playing with Sandy. In fact, I enjoyed playing with them all. When I first went to Scotland, that was back in the 60s. Had Andy Penman. There were lots of people. Andy was another right winger. And you know, we all got on great. All the Scottish lads got on great. And I didn't actually play with, I mean, we were in the squad, Jimmy Johnson and Willie Henderson, obviously because we were in the same position. So when I was playing, they were watching. So, but just being around. And the other guy that, you know, was fabulous, it was Jim Baxter. Jim was a very, very, again, another left half, just like Ray Kennedy. Great on the ball. They were just, I enjoyed playing with all of them. You know, there were very few that I was saying, no, I don't want to play with him. So, John, I think most just, yeah, impressed me most. You know, playing with Dennis with Scotland was special as well, because Dennis was a special player. So, yeah, just all good. Sorry, John, I can't give you one particular man. I enjoyed playing with all of them.
Next one is from Johnny. He says, hope you're keeping well, Willie. My question is about Old Trafford. As a former player who played at the ground so many times over the years, would you prefer to see it renovated or would you prefer to see the club build a new stadium from scratch?
Old Johnny, Old Trafford is a very, very special place. Just to walk out on the pitch, even when there's no one in the ground, is special. It has the most fantastic atmosphere. I would hate for it to go, yeah, renovate, but renovate what's already there. Nothing wrong with that. I wouldn't move it. It's part of history. Yeah, of course it needs updating, but it doesn't everywhere in the modern world. And other moving ground like City have done, and Bolton. But again, you go to Bolton now, no atmosphere. The old Bolton ground was great. It's yeah, I would renovate. And I'm sure Jim Ratcliffe is very much aware of what he needs to do, and I look forward to him bringing it up to standard, and then put some players in to match it.
I think that's the main challenge going forward. As you say, renovate the ground is one thing, but make sure, as you say, Willie, there's a team in the pitch that matches the state of the art ground that obviously they'll look to renovate or build.
Yeah, you know, when I went there last, the pitch is amazing compared to what we played on. Johnny, you wouldn't, it's like night and day. It's absolutely, it's like a bowling green. These lads have no idea how lucky they are. And not just Old Trafford, every pitch, all through the winter, every one, green, beautiful. And look back at some of our games. You had to swim through the mud to get anywhere near a ball. So now, update it, but leave the pitch alone.
Last question comes from Mark. He asks about Marcus Rashford. He said a few weeks ago it was documented that Marcus was out in Belfast on a night out. He got a lot of stick because he missed the FA Cup game. What advice would you give him at this stage of his career after that event?
Oh dear. You know, I think through the years, a lot of us were guilty of doing things that we shouldn't have done. I don't think it was about it. It's sad that he missed the game, but you know, he has got talent, and if he can get the right players around him, you know, I think he's going to be a very, very good player for Man United. And I think he just got to, you know, forgive and forget. He's just young, and I don't know, you know what. no idea what he was up to. But we've all done it. So I can't slag him for doing that.
Well, I think the thing is, as you know, Willie, I mean, a lot of fans talk about players now with all the money they've got, not appearing to be human or in touch with a normal man. And he's went out, he's had a few beers, he's held his hands up, he's apologised and admitted that he probably shouldn't have done it, but he was visiting a friend and ended up going to a pub and you think to yourself, right, okay, forgive and forget, and hopefully get him back to form.
Yeah, it's something and nothing. My God, it's the worst things happening in the world. I've gone out for a few beers with a pal. Yes, he shouldn't have done it. We know that. But he's not exactly killed anybody, has he? So, yeah, forget, get on with it, get back to form, get in the team, there's a couple of half decent players there at the moment. So hopefully get them in there, get them up front, and let them score goals because we need a goal scorer. And he can, he's got the talent. So it's only, I don't decry him for that. Sorry. I know, I think what we all got up to. No.
What do you think the score's going to be today?
Oh, I want him to win 10-0, Callum. But I think, I think we probably win 3-1. That's what, that's what I hope. And I think we win 3-1 down there. I mean, Luton's not exactly Barcelona, are they? So we should win down there.
Yeah, you got to win that game without doubt.
Oh, I'd love to put another nail in Vincent's bet.
I'm sure he'll be delighted when he listens. Before we go, your usual message for the listeners.
Yeah, wherever, I mean, you're looking everywhere. I mean, the whole world. So look after yourself, look after each other, and may your God go with you.
Great advice as always. We look forward to welcoming you to the next show. Take care. All the best.